Now that was a long time ago when the left cared about free speech because they were using free speech to bash the right, or what they considered the right. American power, the American military, American wars, whatever. Well, fast forward 50 years and the left has the power now. They got it in part by using free speech, so they don't really like free speech anymore. At least they don't really need it anymore, and they don't want their critics to use it. Look at this story. Look at this story out of British Columbia. BC government looking into fines for people who engage in racist behavior. The BC government is looking into whether people who engage in racist behavior can be ticketed. Delta North NDP MLA Ravi Kahlon has sent a letter to Public Safety Minister Mike Farnworth, formally requesting the province look into what powers the province has to crack down on racist and hateful behavior. Can you believe that? The Public Safety Minister, that's someone who's supposed to be in charge of counterterrorism, counter-extremism, border security, that sort of thing, maybe even organized crime, of which British Columbia has quite a lot. But mean words are what's important to the socialist government out there. That's what the Public Security Minister is going to look into. I understand that some jurisdictions have implemented new, non-criminal sanctions to deter this behavior, such as ticketing, the letter reads. I would be grateful if your ministry could determine what options might be available to better deter perpetrators. Really? What jurisdictions are those? Iran? North Korea? Get this. Kahlon has been traveling the province to meet with people about hate and racism in BC. Really? Is that what he's doing? He's literally going around the province whipping up divisions. Let's talk about hate, everybody. BC is one of the most racially diverse provinces. There are entire municipalities that are majority-minority, like the city of Richmond. But he's claiming somehow there's some sort of systemic racism. Kahlon himself, that's him there, is proof of that. He was born in BC, absolutely no barriers to his meteoric rise. He was a sports hero, you know. He actually went to the Olympics. Now he's an elected politician in high office. Sorry, you can't have that kind of a charmed life in a hateful, racist place. It's just not true. He's proof it's not true. It's super gross to me that he's trying to whip that up where there is none. It's like Hetty Fry, remember 20-odd years ago, claiming there were literally crosses burning as we speak in Prince George, which just was not true. The letter, quotes the story, comes as communities have noticed a rise in groups like the Soldiers of Odin and the Yellow Vest movement, which drew criticism for attracting some members of the far right. People are afraid in their communities. They know that these hate groups are organizing in communities, Kahlon said in an interview. My request to the Solicitor General was to do a scan of what other jurisdictions are doing to address public hate speech. Really? The Yellow Vest movement is scaring people? The far right? You know what the Yellow Vest movement's about? It started in France. It's against the carbon tax there. People who are against carbon taxes at the far right and the hate group? What does that even mean? The Soldiers of Odin, I've heard of them. That's what, 10 guys in leather jackets, half of whom are undercover cops? Out of a province of 5 million people? Yeah, sorry, that's not a thing. They're making an issue here. Several communities also expressed concern to Kahlon that new hate groups are establishing themselves in BC and are seeking legitimacy by registering as societies under the Societies Act. To address that, Kahlon is asking the BC government to speak to the Canadian Security Intelligence Service about ensuring BC is doing everything possible to prevent the growth of these groups. Well, what groups? What is a hate group, and should they be banned from incorporating as a society? I know what a banned group is in Canada. We have a list of them, actually. Here's a list right here. It's basically a list of terrorist groups. Al-Qaeda, Al-Shabaab, Boko Haram. It's a list that the Department of Public Safety publishes. You can see it, mainly Muslim terrorist groups. It won't surprise you to learn. But they're not hate groups. Hate, yeah, they're hateful, but hate's not what put them on the list. It's not illegal to hate. Hate's a natural human emotion. What gets you on the list is when you become criminal, violent, terrorist violence, organized crime. That's something different. What on earth does it mean to want to ban people, for example, who wear yellow vests from organizing. That's not even an official thing. It's just a symbol anyone could wear. It's like wearing those pussy hats at a women's march. Is that a hate symbol? What are you going to do, ban pink hats? I don't even understand what they're really trying to do, but boy, are they trying to do something. Ticketing people for hate, they say? Does that include off-color jokes? Does it include mean words? Like the N word for blacks. I would never say that word. It's a terrible word. But I actually hear that word every day because I listen to the radio and there's rap music on the radio and I hear that word a lot. Is there a special exemption for that word in rap songs, or does it depend on who says it? What words are banned and what words aren't? Are we going to give that power to politicians? If you are of a certain race, can you make fun of that race? If you're of a certain religion, can you criticize your own religion? And is that the only people who can? Why are we even talking about this? Other than some authoritarian extremist wants more power over what you can do or say. That's an excerpt from the Ezra Levant Show, which is a show I do every day. I do a monologue, interview an interesting guest, and then I read my hate mail. But you've got to subscribe to it, which you can do at premium.rebelnews.com.